those of you just joining me, this is part 2 of a 2-part series on how I build a cabin door from scratch. If you haven't already, definitely check out the first video, and I'll post a link in the description below. In this video, I'll be completing the door and mounting it on the hinges.
That looks good. Muy bien. I can feel it getting warmer already. There's this joist in the way here, which was used for my platform above here when I was working on the roof, and I haven't removed it yet. So I'm going to take it out later and replace it with 2x6s or 2x8s. But for now, I'm leaving it in place. But it's in the way, and I am tucking this underneath. I'm cutting it. I'm also trimming it to size.
The door is almost complete, and I'm going to want to mount it in place. But before I can do that, I need to finish this section of the wall so that the hinges have something to bite into. I don't plan on taking the door off after I mount it, so I decided to put on whatever I'm going to use as the finished wall surface before I continue with the door and the mounting process.
and load.
I prefer this hammer action style. You hammer it, and it puts a staple in nice and tight. Now, I've never seen anybody insulate a door like this. I haven't seen it on YouTube. I haven't read about it online. This is just an idea I had, and I decided to use some of the spare insulation that I had left over. Most doors that I've seen are either solid or hollow, but not something like this. Now, did I insulate this door with cotton candy? Of course not.
Yeah, baby. You know, when I was a kid, I used to go to the attic and play in this stuff, right? Didn't we all think we were playing in cotton candy? We all had a house filled with cotton candy. It's only when we came downstairs itching like mad and our parents thought, what, did they get into some poison ivy? No, I was just playing in the attic. Itching, fiberglass, under the skin. Yeah, those were the good old days when we didn't know any better. So, it's not the most perfect job. I like to say that it has character. I'm going to be putting the vapor barrier over this just like the walls. I don't know if that's a good idea. If anybody out there has any comments about that, let me know if you think it's going to create some serious moisture. Right there. There we go. I really just want to get this so that it's mostly filled in here and spread out evenly. And it has some room here to breathe.
I'm curious to see how this will hold up in the cold weather. It may be a terrible idea, or it might be golden. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Nice and tight. Tight like tiger. Use the edge of your piece to get a nice straight line for the cut. And then connect the two with a long level. I'm gonna attempt to put this door in place and then see if I can get the hinges on. I've got a piece of wood behind me so it doesn't fall backwards. I don't have the handle on yet because I need longer screws to get that in, so I'm gonna have to be doing this in kind of a difficult way. So I've got this felling wedge. It's loud. I need some headphones to block that. Good. That's going to be good there. A decent amount of space at the bottom and at the top for finished flooring and for the door stops.
The door jamb was protruding out a little bit more than I expected, and instead of sanding it down, I decided to just add some shims so that the door hinge would sit flush with the interior trim. I will cut away the excess of the shims, at which point it will become completely unnoticeable.
Perfect. It's hard centering when you don't have a center punch. It'd be a lot easier to do this if I had a center punch to center the actual hole. That would help. However, I managed to do it somehow because this is level exactly. It's perfect. Circle makes the dot. This marks the spot. That's good. Should probably put a couple more screws in. I just want to see what's going on here. Oops. Okay, seems all right. So now, I don't want to go any more than that. I'm going to put these back in here for a second, and I'm going to finish putting some more screws in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up back with better screws, probably lag bolts, because I trust lag bolts. These are 3.5-inch screws, which are great, but I'm going to go with lag bolts. I've done it before. With a door this heavy, I feel confident that the door will not come off the hinges or sag over time. I'll finish off, and that'll be it for today. Doesn't need much. Currently, I have the door on 2 gate hinges. I'm going to be adding a third one in the middle,
I may add one here and here, so 2 more. But I've done it before where I've had 3. I'm also going to be changing the screws that I used. They are 3.5-inch construction screws, which are great. I use that to build the entire cabin. But I prefer lag bolts because I've used lag bolts before and I trust them, especially with a door this heavy. This door has to be, I'm going to say 125 pounds, 130 pounds maybe, based on how many 2x4s I used and the average weight of a 2x4. I made 3 doors like that and they were massive. I've got a temporary handle on here, just a 2x4 blocked in place. That's a metal felling wedge. That's great. I had a piece of wood behind here to prevent it from falling outwards when I was putting the hinges in place. I've made this door handle here out of a 2x4. I carved it out with a jigsaw and sanded it down. That'll go in place instead. So that looks pretty good for now. And that is a really thick, heavy door. That is, it's over 3 1/4. Solid, and should keep me warm. So it looks like this on the outside, and on the inside, I got a sheet of 1/4-inch birch plywood, a nice finished plywood. I got a solid door on now, and I've got insulation on the back. It's coming along. Thanks for joining me on this incredible and frequently unknown journey as I build the cabin of my dreams on my very own private and secluded 40 acres in the beautiful northern Canadian wilderness. As always, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button and consider subscribing so that you can be notified when any new videos are released. What a day, what a day, what a day. Until then, the future is unknown, and I'll see you there.